Over my 17-year career, I've tried literally every single lead platform out there, some for my own purposes and some for testing for the agents that I coach. And I've tracked all the results. I'm going to share those results with you in this video. And as of right now, as I'm making this video, I've made a business decision that I most likely will never buy a lead again, because there are two things I'm going to share with you in today's video that I'm doing instead. They're not what you think, that has gotten so much better results. And so let me first share with you my experience with purchasing real estate leads over the past decade or. And so the types of leads that I've invested in over the past 10 years have been Facebook buyer leads, which have been a complete waste of time. Google pay-per-click buyer leads, complete waste of time. And we've also invested in property-specific leads like Zillow and Realtor.com. And so let me break down the past 3 years of investing in these platforms so I can share with you the actual numbers, and I will compare that to what we're doing now. And then you could be the judge and tell me what you think makes more sense for you. So over the past 3 years, our cost per lead with Zillow or Realtor.com are $275. It used to be a lot less, but those average cost per leads have done nothing but go up year over year over year. And over the past 3 years, we've been per month. And so on average, we've been getting about 1,800 leads over the past 3 years. And so we've invested almost $500,000 in total ad spend when it comes to these platforms. Now, out of the $500,000 that we have invested, we've closed 82 of those leads that we purchased. So the first thing we need to look at is, what is the conversion ratio? For us at my company and my team, it's been 4.5%. In sales volume, we sell real estate here in Metro Detroit, Michigan. We've done about $22 million in total sales volume from this lead channel over the course of the past 3 years. So far, you might be like, well, okay, well, what's the issue? Well, in total GCI, or gross commission income, we've done $676,000 in top line gross commission income. So the profit over the past 3 years breaks down to about $60,000 a year, or $180,000 over the past 3 years. The ROI is 16%. And so we're getting much better results with doing some other things, which I'm going to share with you in just a second. So that's been one area that we've invested heavy in, because the thought was those leads would turn out to be a lot more profitable than they were. But those are the real numbers. We tracked it over the past 3 years. The other thing that we tried to go all in on and invest in is seller Google pay-per-click. So specifically using Google to generate seller or listing leads. And so we would create keywords. We partner with a Google pay-per-click manager. They would go after specific targeted keywords like, hey, what is my home worth? Or local listing agent, or how to get your home sold. These are all search terms on Google that we would target. This type of lead, the cost per lead, we were able to get leads for about $20. Now, when I say lead, what I'm talking about here is somebody clicking on an ad on Google and opting into a form so that we can reach out. And so those are about $20 a piece. So a huge difference between $275 that we were spending on Zillow or Realtor.com. And so our cost per lead went way down. But let me kind of unpack the conversion on these. First off, these took a long time to convert. Okay, the contact rate. So when we get an opt-in, the amount of people that we were actually able to talk to over the phone was 30%. 70% of the people, or 70% of the opt-ins that we purchased, we were never able to get in touch with. The next conversion, the contact to lead generated. So we talked to the opt-in, we had a good conversation, and that yielded an actual lead. This is somebody who said, yep, I'm looking to sell. Here's a time frame. I don't have a real estate agent. I'm open to working with you. Here's what all that looks like. That's what we constitute as a lead, was 10%. So 10% of the people that opted in turned into an actual lead. Of those leads, we were able to convert 25% of those into actual appointments. So let's break down the numbers. What does all this mean? Well, with this source of business, it was taking us about 125 leads. We had to purchase 125 leads to go on one listing appointment. So if you break down the numbers, it cost us about $2,500 to go on one listing appointment. And so over the past couple of years, I've been really looking at this, really tracking this. I've been doing a lot of testing with my team. I've been doing a lot of testing with the agents that I coach. And I said, well, wait a minute. Let's look at the results that we're getting with unpaid direct outbound prospecting. Okay, and I'm going to share with you again, stay with me. I'm going to share two different things that we're doing that get way better results than paid leads. But let me just compare paid leads versus unpaid direct outbound prospecting, where we just contact homeowners direct. We don't buy any leads. We just pick up the phone and we call them direct. We get the data, we get homeowners information, we get their contact information, and we call them direct. They didn't opt into anything. We're not buying any advertising. We're not doing any marketing. That's called unpaid direct outbound. This is what most of my content is. This is what most of you guys know about on my channel. The first KPI with that methodology, the contact rate, it's a little bit lower than what we saw with internet leads. It's about 10 to 15%. So if you make 100 outbound phone calls doing unpaid direct outbound, you're just calling them cold, you can expect to have 10 or 15 conversations. That's the contact rate. However, here's what we also found, that the contact from the time you speak to a prospect and we turn that contact into an actual lead, so the person on the phone tells us, yes, in fact, I am looking to sell my house. Here's the time frame in which I'm looking to sell my house. No, I don't have a realtor that I'm obligated to do business with. Yes, I am open to interviewing you. That's what we constitute as a lead. We're able to generate 10% of the people that we talk to into a seller lead. Well, if you compare that to the contact to lead ratio for internet leads, it's the same. We said, okay, our cost per lead over here is free, where we had to buy a bunch of data to get the same conversion. The amount of people we got on the phone, that's all we care about. The amount of people we talked to on the phone that turn into an actual qualified lead, the ratio was the same, 10%. Furthermore, how many of those leads turned into an actual listing appointment? Well, to remind you, when we were investing in seller lead generation on Google, it was 25%. Lo and behold, it was the same. It is the same, rather, with direct outbound, free direct outbound. Our lead to appointment with every agent that I coach right now, on average, is about 25%. 1 out of 4 of the leads we generate calling homeowners directly turns into an appointment. And so we're generating listing appointments for free, whereas it was costing us $2,500 to generate one of those when we were investing in seller lead advertising on Google. So what are we doing now? And what would I share with you if I'm going to invest in my business? These are the two things that we're doing right now that is working so much better. And one of those is leveraged paid direct outbound. So we have the strategy of unpaid direct outbound. This is when you personally are picking up the phone and calling homeowners directly. Well, this strategy is something that we coach to, which is that same strategy, but you're not doing the phone calls. This is when we hire a full-time ISA that works for you. And we can do this for about $1,000 a month for a full-time ISA. And no, we're not talking about outsourcing someone to the Philippines that barely speaks English. We're not talking about that. If you want us to refer you to the company that we use, just send me an email to brandon@reverseselling.com and I'll make that introduction. But we're getting a full-time ISA for about $1,000 a month. Here are the numbers we're seeing with these ISAs. On a daily basis, they're able to make about 50 to 60 contacts per day. So in an 8-hour shift, they have, time for lunch and they've got breaks. But in a full day's work, they're able to talk to 50 to 60 people. Of those people, they're generating 2 seller leads every single day. 40 to 50 leads every single month go into our database, go into our pipeline. Now, 10% of those leads are turning into actual listing appointments. And so in this case, what we've experienced and what we've experienced with the agents that we coach to this strategy are getting about 3 to 4 listing appointments per month from one full-time ISA making the outbound phone calls on your behalf. So if you break that down, if an ISA, a full-time ISA, making outbound phone calls for you 40 hours a week is getting you 1 listing appointment a week, 4 per month, that breaks down to $250 per listing appointment. And so when we track this over the past couple of years, this is one of the things that we said, okay, we're going to go all in on this because it makes way too much sense. As you're doing your own unpaid direct outbound, it's free. As you're putting in the sweat equity, you're making phone calls, you're calling your past clients, you're meeting with people, you're out there building your brand. You can have a full-time ISA also doubling down on the outbound prospecting strategy. As you're meeting with clients, they're generating you more leads as well. The other thing that I'll share with you that is working extremely well is unpaid direct inbound lead strategy. And so what do I mean? So the other thing that I have been doing for years and years and years, I probably don't talk about it enough, but I certainly am going to start. That is direct response content marketing. This is where making content on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and having our ideal prospect pursue us. As we're doing the direct outbound pursuing prospects, we have an inbound strategy at the very same time where prospects are finding us online and pursuing us. And so how do we do this? We make content on YouTube designed to go in front of our ideal client avatar, specifically a niche on YouTube where people are searching for specific content. They land on one of our videos. They opt into a lead magnet, which is our lead conversion mechanism. And as an example of that, maybe we offer one of our home buyer guides or our seller guides, or we offer one of our home pricing guides, secrets to getting the most for your home when you go to sell your property. And we have people that watch our videos, they opt into a lead magnet in exchange for their contact information, and we generate those leads. And then we're able to follow up with those people, convert them into buyers and sellers. And so let me share my screen. I'll show you an example. This is what that strategy looks like over the past 12 months. So I've got my link tree pulled up right now. Over the last 12 months, we've been able to get 11,000 people to click on a lead magnet, okay? Or 8,700 people to click on our lead magnets. 75% have actually clicked through and become a lead in our database, which in this case is about 4,500 leads that we've generated for free using direct inbound content marketing. Now, I'm going to be talking a lot more on the channel about how to do that and how to create a world where you've got inbound leads coming in as you're using the direct outbound. This video isn't to get you distracted and start creating all shiny objects, but the reality is there are ways to generate business and leverage your time so that you generate more opportunities for yourself outside of maybe just direct outbound and outside of buying leads. And that's the purpose of today's video. And so if it makes sense, let's have a conversation maybe in the comments after I upload this to YouTube. And if you have questions or you need clarity around some of the things I covered in today's video, be happy to go back and forth. And if you're open to having a conversation about potentially working together in a coaching relationship and you want my help to help you get from wherever you're at right now to go where you want to go to generate a lifestyle and an income that you want, I'll put a link underneath this video. You can click it. You can schedule some time for us to have a conversation, learn about what it is that we do to help you accomplish the goals that you've set. And then together we can figure out if working together makes sense or not. So hopefully today's video, you got some good takeaways. It made sense to you, and I'll plan on seeing you guys in another video very soon.